Good morning. It's Thursday, and that's the day I share a super life hack with you. And today we're going to talk about coconut oil. Okay, so I know that coconut oil has been the rave for several years now, and I first discovered coconut oil, of course, 8 or 9 years ago, probably 9 years ago, when I was had my oldest daughter as a little baby infant, and I was on that journey of just doing everything as natural as I possibly could. And so we all know that there's lots of uses for coconut oil, and a lot of people cook with it. I don't cook with it a lot, and I think that's because I tend to have it in so many other places in the house that it doesn't end up getting used that much in the kitchen. And and a lot of people do use it for a lot of different things. So I just wanted to share with you today 3 of my favorite hacks that have to do with coconut oil that you may already know or you may not know, and I hope that they bring some value to your life. So you always want to get, doesn't matter what the brand is, but you definitely want to look for unrefined, and extra virgin is probably great, but there's a lot of great brands out there, and some of them are more specific to cooking, but really and truly you tend to be able to use them all for all the multitude of uses, regardless of all the fancy words that they put on the label. But do try to buy the best quality for your budget. So my number one favorite hack with coconut oil has to do with makeup, and that's because I am an old school waterproof CoverGirl mascara wearing kind of girl, and it's one of those things that I think everybody's got their favorite mascara that they stick to, and Lord knows how many times a day my eyes well up in tears, and I would never make it through that if I didn't wear waterproof mascara. And so I used to have to buy CoverGirl made their own special product that removed the mascara, and very few things. Like, I tried olive oil, and olive oil would do so, but for the most part I pretty much had to have that product that CoverGirl made in order to get that mascara off of my eyelashes. Well, it came a time when I got to where I really just could not even find that waterproof remover, and I've tried Maybelline's waterproof eye mascara kind of remover stuff, and it did nothing for me. It still left a ton of residue from the mascara on my eyes, and I'm a contact lens wearer, so it's pretty important to me in my contact lenses that I get my eyelashes really clean. And so what I discovered is that, lo and behold, I had the secret in a tub at my house already, and that was coconut oil. So now I never buy that almost $6 for less than 4 ounces, maybe an ounce of that CoverGirl special cleaner for their waterproof mascara. I never buy that. I probably haven't bought it in at least 2 years because I know the coconut oil gets the job done. Sometimes I might have to rub a little bit longer than I would have with the store-bought product that CoverGirl made, but I don't mind it, because the other thing that I noticed once I started using coconut oil on an ongoing basis to remove my mascara is that my eyelashes actually got healthier. They didn't seem as thin, they seemed longer. And so I'm not going to tell you that that's some secret potion to thicker, longer lashes, but it really made a difference with mine. And that maybe could be because I wasn't using whatever was in that remover product that CoverGirl made, or I believe that it's probably just because this is such good stuff. So now I just buy the 99-cent store face wipes, and I rub it, I get some coconut oil on my fingertips after I've taken my contact lenses out, and I really massage that coconut oil into my mascara or into my eyelashes as well as I can until I feel that there's like no clumps and no mascara that I can feel on my fingertips anymore. And then I just use those wipes to wipe it away. And to be honest with you, I'm really getting to the point where I want to stop throwing away a lot of stuff. And in the past, when I've been on a tight budget and I didn't have those wipes, because I didn't used to know that you could get those wipes at the 99-cent store for $1. I used to pay as much as $3 a pack for them. So what I used to use was just a washcloth, and you can do that, but the mascara and the oil tends to kind of stain that. But I've got some old, really soft baby blankets that, and we've got a million around here. I'm talking about kind of the swaddling type that everybody has, and you get a million of them. And I've used those before. I've cut those up. You could cut up an old t-shirt if you're trying to reduce. So I've got a goal to move into using that, and then I've got a pretty sustainable little way to remove my eye makeup. And another thing is I usually, after I get my eye makeup off, I'll use the rest of what's on my fingers that's not, I'll wipe off the ones that look black. But you can go ahead and massage that coconut oil into your face and wipe off the rest of that, and that'll get the rest of any makeup that you have on your face. So it's a way to save money, and for me, it's just I need something that gets that waterproof mascara off. Now, the second thing that is little known about coconut oil is that it's actually antibacterial, antifungal, and antimicrobial. And most of your hand sanitizers can't even tout all of that. And I don't know if you know a lot about what hand sanitizers do to kind of mess with the biology of your entire environment, if you will. But I do think that they're necessary, especially when I think about my children going off to school and all the things that they touch. And that's one place that I'm really glad that they've got some hand sanitizers to use. And we're always encouraging a lot of hand washing. I tell the girls to sing a song to remind them to wash for a long period of time. But if you're at home or you have the resourcefulness to put some coconut oil into some smaller containers that you can take on the go with you. Now, I don't think that's going to work so much sending to the school. Depends on how your school is, but you might have to do some swaying to get them to see that coconut oil has the same value and even more value when it comes to sanitizing our hands. So it's a great thing for you, though, that you could definitely incorporate at home because we know as mamas or just as everyday people, we probably, I do, I wash my hands constantly. And, plus that kind of dries out our hands a little bit. But if you go back behind washing your hands with a little bit of coconut oil, you're kind of doing an extra natural sanitizing of your hands because the coconut oil is antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal. And that really stood out to me in the past 2 weeks because we don't get sick in this house a lot. But when we do, I really want to kind of figure out what we could have done differently. And because usually if one person gets sick, it stays pretty isolated. But that stomach bug that we had recently, it ran through the house in its own unique pattern. And the one person that I really expected to get it would have been my youngest daughter, Jo. And that's just because the main carrier, the first person to have it, was her sister, who she's with all the time. You know, they touch all the same things. They touch each other. They're you know how little girls are. It's like they're attached to each other all the time. So it's very surprising to me that Josie didn't get sick like that at all. She never had anything go on with the stomach bug. Whereas all the other people, like my husband, me, that made a lot of sense. And then our one that doesn't have his appendicitis, which if you don't know, plays a big role in your immune system. He's the only other one that got it. And I really, if I had to point a finger at the one reason why I believe that Jo did not get sick, is because in those 2 or 3 days before that illness came through our house, she had gotten into a jar of coconut oil and was doing her own hair, which meant she had gobbed just layers and layers of coconut oil in her hair, and it ended up being okay. I mean, and when you got curly hair like that, it's not like oil's ever gonna trash it. Whereas if I sat around as a little girl and gobbed that much coconut oil in my hair, it'd take a bottle of Dawn to probably get it out. But my coconut oil does different on my hair now that I'm in my 40s. So we'll talk about that some other time. But to get back to her, that's something that for 2 or 3 nights there, that particular week, she was all into putting coconut oil in her hair and all over herself. And so that was like a Wednesday, Thursday thing that she was doing. And by Friday, well, that's when the bug reared its ugly head in our house. And I would almost bank money on the fact that the reason why it skipped over her is because she had been setting up her own little wall of defense by having all that coconut oil on her and being in it for so much of the time that she was at home with her sister in what was probably the incubation period for that. Okay, so then my number 3, oh, I do remember. So my number 3 thing that is a hack that I really love about coconut oil is this, and I call it my deep moisturizing self-care thing that I do with myself. And you know, I'll be honest with you and say that in my early days of using coconut oil, everybody touts it like it even says it on the bottle, you know, skin and hair care, that it's good for your skin. But back in those original days when I tried to use it as a form of moisturizer, I didn't jive with it, you know. I want something to absorb into my skin. I don't want to feel greasy afterwards. And I've got a lotion that I love, but you know, when you're trying to move everything away from some commercial product into something more natural, you try a lot of different stuff. So in the beginning, those first couple of times, I just went away from looking at it as something to use as an everyday body lotion, if you will. However, in the last year or 2, I've really come to understand that the key to using it on your body is you really have to massage it into your skin. It's not like an everyday store type of lotion that you can just slick on and rub a little bit, and once you see the white gone of the lotion, then it's into your skin. So the real value and the real benefit of coconut oil, if you don't know or if you've tried it, is really getting it massaged into your skin really well. Now, to talk to you about the deep moisturizing self-care that I do, one little thing, or probably the big epicenter of my self-care, has to do with a bath. Being in the bathtub, having a bath bomb if I have it, having some Epsom salt if I do. But more than anything, it's the time. And what I've learned, I've actually watched a couple of girls do their self-care videos. A woman from like, I think she does something on TV. She's like my age. And then a younger girl and what she does and how her self-care. And I noticed from both of them that they spent what you would think was an inordinate amount of time massaging their face and their skin. And I really latched onto that and thought, you know, that we need that. And it's just like, you know, you buy all those tools, you know, that pound and beat and poke holes into your skin, but even if just using your fingertips, you can really get a lot of action into your skin and a lot of motion going on your skin and a lot of moisture into your skin with something that you want to use as a deep moisturizer. And I use the coconut oil for that. So what I do in the bath is I get an unusual amount on my hands, especially my fingertips, and I start up here by my hairline. And when I'm talking about massaging, I'm not rubbing in like you would, like I said, a lotion. I am massaging that coconut oil into my skin, like every single pore is getting touched and moved around and agitated by the movement of my fingers. And I come all the way down my face and I come down into the gland line of my neck and all down my neck into my chest. And we forget about all this is like a big center of your hormones here, your adrenal system here in your neck. So I massage all of that down. And in the end, I get a good amount on my hands and I work it all through my hair. And then I just sit there. So it's a deep way, I feel like, gets my skin really moisturized and feeling really good. And, you know, especially here in Arizona, a lot of people would probably think that the dry time is in the summer because it's so hot. But I tell you, I can feel like my skin is just like the moisture is just getting leached out of my skin in the winter. And so if you are in a dry part of the country, I'd really like to encourage you to get yourself a steamy bath going and, you know, just get a good gob of coconut oil in your hands and really take the time, you know, to slowly massage that into your face and use different circular motions around your face and just love on yourself with coconut oil. And I hope that if you just heard a little bit about coconut oil and it seems like a hyped up fad sort of thing that people were just into for a minute, remember my 3 favorite hacks, and that's getting waterproof mascara off, using it as a sanitation tool for your hands in your home, and thirdly, it's a great way to deep moisturize your hair and face when you're soaking in a bath. So until next time, I hope you have the best day ever.